Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Jar of Marble dwellers and Jar of Marble curious. My name is Linda and this is Jar of Marbles. Well, isn't this just wonderful? I'm so glad that you're here. It's been another exciting week. So much can happen in a week. So much can happen in a day, can't it? Imagine when you're getting quite old, then you go, boy, so much has happened in my life. The alchemy of aging, something that I wanted to talk a little bit about this week. As we get into this week's subject of the alchemy of aging, I've been actively devoted to presenting this podcast with subjects that I hope we can all relate to, ones that are not only challenging but subjects to think on. Listeners have asked me to talk about different subjects, and I love that, and it really suits my inquiring mind. So when I was asked to talk about the alchemy of aging, I thought, okay. It had been years that I felt like I had something to really look forward to, just at different stages of my life, something I could really put myself into, get my teeth into, so to speak, be devoted and genuinely enjoy. And I think that was because I was in an in-between space. I wasn't young, I wasn't old, I was still working, the kids weren't married and many other things were losing their luster, and I had no idea where I fitted, mostly, and importantly, in my own skin, in my own life. I would never have thought that this would have provided me so much happiness, that this podcast would fulfill me in the way that it does. I thought I was past new beginnings. And my ever-growing fear was that I would never find anything that would satisfy me. And mostly because I have done a lot in my life, which I'm truly grateful for, I sort of thought the chances were a little bit slim. But as time went by, I realised that it was opening doors that I could never have anticipated. It made me remember who I am. It made me realise how small my life had become. It made me recognise that I can do more after a long time of keeping my family safe from people who should have had our safety, our well-being in mind, just family life in general. It was years of stress and strain, many tears and many fears, and a lot of happiness and a lot of joy too. But it had shaped me, and I knew it, but I didn't know how to escape it. Years of intense pressure and the worst betrayals left me feeling so alone and judged and misunderstood. And mostly by people who I thought were my friends, and having no family to speak of except for my kids. But kids grow up, don't they? And they get their own life, and I had zero clue what to do. I didn't even know there was something to do. At points, I had felt I was left without a friend in the world that I could feel safe with. The truth is, I always did have a couple of good friends, but when geography isn't placed conveniently, it can feel like your life is very empty. That perhaps my ability to feel safe with people had gone. You cannot go through such extreme experiences for years on end without a price, and the price was I was playing small and staying away under the radar to not attract any extra attention lest I end up under a bus again. So, starting the podcast, telling my stories and rebuilding myself as I ran the podcast and started reconnecting with myself, but in a different way. It felt like a huge risk. It was, and it is a risk, and a risk I had to take to push through. Like, as an older woman, I can put everything behind me and welcome life in consciously. I feel like I have put decades of my life behind me and at the same time grateful for all the hits I've taken because it's woken me up. I have had many experiences. Like most of us, we do not get into our 60s, 70s, 80s and beyond without, a few bits and pieces. But I haven't been as fully present as I am today because I promised myself I have to keep that promise to myself because I value myself. I promised myself I would not give up even if no one listened, that I would just turn up every week, no matter what. I would turn up for myself, and if in the process I touched others' lives, then that would be and is a privilege. I want to tell the whole world and anyone that will listen, you have enormous courage and potential inside, and you can change your life and you can create a new path. Interesting then that this week's subject is the alchemy of aging. Let's go. Hashtag the alchemy of aging. It is a profound and transformative process that unfolds with time, offering opportunities for growth, wisdom, and self-realisation. Oh boy, isn't that the truth? Is that the truth? That is the truth. You've got that look on your face, Bob. What is it?
Well, I've got a bit of a joke.
Oh, All right, well, let's hear it then.
Why can't you hear a psychiatrist using the bathroom?
I don't know, but I got a feeling you're going to tell me.
Because the P's silent.
You know what? That's not too bad. Not too bad at all.
I know, thank you.
Anyway, I'm moving on. Do reach a position where you know you have limited years left, that you must take your health seriously, that there's no bounceability, going on anymore, that there's no I'll start walking or learning how to juggle or, any kind of activity. Next week, it's get onto it now if you want to enjoy your 60s and beyond. Alchemically speaking, you have a healthy respect for time. In particular, the role of elder women in society holds immense significance as they offer guidance and wisdom that can shape and enrich the lives of those around them. The truth of the truth, or the deep understanding and acceptance of reality, is a vital aspect of this alchemical process, especially in the context of the 21st century. Elder women, with their vast life experiences, carry a wealth of wisdom that is honed through decades of navigating the complexities of life. And ain't that the truth? They have weathered storms, conquered challenges, and gained insights that can only come with time. Their perspectives are rooted in a deep understanding of the human condition, and they possess a unique ability to offer guidance and support based on their accumulated knowledge and wisdom. How cool is the alchemy of aging? I mean, really. This is not being invisible. This is rocking you for you where you find yourself today. I know, definitely worth an applause. Thank you. And thank you for you too. Thank you. Elder women are keepers of stories, traditions, and cultural heritage, and their presence in society provides a valuable source of guidance and inspiration for younger generations. In a fast-paced and rapidly changing world, the wisdom of elder women is more relevant than ever. In a society that often values youth and novelty, the wisdom that comes with age is sometimes overlooked. However, elder women possess a deep well of knowledge and insights that can help navigate the complexities of modern life. They can offer guidance on matters of relationships, career, family, personal growth, spirituality, drawing from their own life experiences and lessons learned. Oh boy, the lessons learned. Anyway, their presence can be a source of grounding, stability, and reassurance in a world that can often feel uncertain and chaotic. Hashtag the alchemy of aging. It also involves the truth of the truth, the deep understanding and acceptance of reality. Elder women have lived through a myriad of life experiences, both joys and sorrows, and have developed the capacity to see and accept the truth of situations without denying it or avoiding it. They have learnt that the truth, no matter how painful or uncomfortable, it is a necessary foundation for growth and transformation. It is. It actually is. I know, right? Good. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. They can offer insights into the impermanence of life, the cycles of change, and the importance of embracing the present moment.
I have another joke.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
Why wouldn't the bicycle stand by itself?
I don't know.
It was too tired.
Not bad, Bob. Not bad at all. Can I get on with it?
Okay.
In the end, the truth, the bottom line, is what matters. The alchemy of all that was, if it doesn't add up, then no dice. The wisdom and guidance of elder women are particularly relevant in the 21st century as we face unprecedented changes and challenges such as environmental degradation, social inequality, technological advancements, and shifting cultural norms. Their perspectives can help us navigate these complexities with grace and insight and a whole lot of resilience. Their wisdom can also inspire us to reevaluate our priorities, reconsider our values, and strive for a more compassionate, just, and sustainable world. The alchemy of aging encompasses the profound process of growth, transformation, and self-realisation that occurs with time. Elder women play a crucial role in this process as they offer the wisdom based on their life experiences, the truth of the truth, or the deep understanding and acceptance of reality is an essential aspect of this alchemical process, particularly in the context of the 21st century. Another seemingly magical process of transformation, creation, or combination is finding the person who's right for you. Requires a very subtle alchemy.
I'm right for you, aren't I?
You sure are, Bobo boy. Alchemy was a form of speculative thought that, among other aims, tried to transform base metals such as lead or copper into silver or gold. It also sought to discover cures for diseases and a way of extending life. Is there any truth to alchemy, though? Unfortunately, none of these efforts produced true alchemy. It turns out that base metals can't be magically or chemically transformed into gold. Today, it is possible to create gold using particle accelerators, but the amounts created are minuscule and not worth the Herculean efforts involved. Then there's divine alchemy, application of spiritual consciousness to physical form so profound that an entirely new form evolves. It is irreversible change. As elder women, we have a wealth of knowledge and experience that we can share with our daughters, sons and grandchildren and others, of course, to help them create new ideals for their relationships and witness the alchemy of their lives transform. Our guidance and assistance can be invaluable in helping them navigate the complexities of modern relationships and discover the true magic of deep, meaningful connections. It really is a life experience thing, though. It truly is. And one of the most precious gifts we can offer is our wisdom gained through the years of living and learning. We have experienced the highs and the lows, the joys and the sorrows, the challenges and the triumphs of family dynamics. We can share our stories, lessons learned and insights gained to help our children and grandchildren understand the complexities of human relationships and guide them in building healthy and fulfilling connections. Well, we can only try, can't we? And we can only live by example, and we've also got to just let our adult kids be and our adult grandchildren be as well. But to be here to serve, to assist if they need us is wonderful. And so it is serving as role models, and by exemplifying healthy and positive relationships in our own lives, we can show them the importance of mutual respect, effective communication and compromise in relationships. We can demonstrate the value of empathy, kindness and forgiveness. Our actions and behaviours can serve as powerful examples for the younger generation to emulate and incorporate into their own relationships. In addition, we can provide a safe and non-judgmental space for our kids and our grandchildren to share their thoughts, feelings and concerns about their relationships. And that was something that I was always very aware of. It was having a very open forum in our home as the kids were growing up to be able to really just say how they felt about anything, and I mean anything, and most often they did. And inside my little brain would be exploding with, oh my God, I cannot believe that they're actually telling me this. But, I had encouraged it, and so while we're encouraging honesty and they're being profoundly honest, we've got to, pull our socks up and just be there for them. And so encouraging open and honest communication, active listening and healthy conflict resolution and hoping that we can, teach these skills, helping them to develop strong communication within themselves and interpersonal skills that can enhance their relationships. Furthermore, we can challenge traditional gender roles and stereotypes by promoting equality and respect in our relationships. We can help our daughters and granddaughters understand their worth and value. And I mean, obviously for our grandsons and our sons as well, to understand their worth and value beyond societal expectations and encourage them to pursue their passions, their dreams. We can also teach our sons and grandsons, obviously, the importance of emotional intelligence, empathy and understanding in relationships and inspire them to become compassionate and respectful partners. As elder women, we can also help our daughters, sons and grandchildren cultivate self-love and self-care. So very, very important. We can teach them the importance of self-awareness, self-acceptance and self-care, and all these practices that promote emotional and mental healthy well-being. And growing older, contend with ageism, misogyny and loss. Yet, as US clinical psychologist Mary Pfeiffer writes, most older women are deeply happy and filled with gratitude for the gifts of life. Contrary to cultural stereotypes, many older women are deeply happy. I am. I feel very happy, I've got to say. I'm one of them. I'm loving being my age. There seems to be no point in saying what are my choices. I can't wish to be 30 again, but the calmness of spirit and being damn sure of who you are, who I am, what you'll accept and what you'll go for are crystal clear. It would seem to me and other women that I've spoken to that we are just getting started, because if we're not, it sure feels a bit thrilling to feel like you are just getting started, whatever that means. Like for me, I don't even really know what that means, but I like the feel of it. We are keen to dispel the belief that life is only fabulous if you're young. What a crock! Bollocks! I'm here to state that that you have much to look forward to. There is another life awaiting with new attitudes and a zest for life.
Zest rhymes with vest.
Correct, Bob. You're not strange. Moving on, if we're not to be positive and thrilled about our stage of life, what is the point? This is how I see my previous years, and while I can say with surety I have had fantastic experiences and many I would do again if the opportunity arose. But being younger and the whole working yourself out, been there, done that, I have no jealousy or sadness of not being young. It isn't all it's cracked up to be. I remember coming across the saying, by the time you learn the rules of the life, you'll be too old to play the game. It's a saying by Grenville Kleiser. Anywho, I'm calling bullshit. It's all attitude. Gone are the days that sayings like that make any impact on me. I think, well, it's all relative, isn't it, Grenville? And so I was reading on this book. It was talking about 3 rules, simple rules for life. And I think, you know what, we could really dole out lots of different rules. But however, there are these simple rules in life, and if you do not go after what you want, you'll never have it. If you do not ask, the answer will always be no. And if you do not step forward, you will always be in the same place. I guess it's being prepared to accept the no, or still say, well, are you sure you don't want to say yes? I know that you said no, but are you sure it's a no? Generally, it is pretty sure that it's a no, but there have been times when I've been able to get a yes out of a no. So there is something to be said for checking in and double checking, because things change in everybody's lives and things can just land in your lap. You think, well, that didn't look like it was going to work out, and somehow it did. And I love that about life so much. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's right. People have written stories about fantastical beings and happenings that have amazed and inspired us for thousands of years. The ancient myths from Egypt, Greece, India, and indigenous cultures across the globe tell the rich stories. These stories about unseen magic worlds and what they hold within them, the ancient archetypes, which I find endlessly interesting, which we experience in our life's journey, and in that way opens us up to perceiving more of the magic already around us every day. And I guess I feel like a kind of a magic in my thinking about my life moving forward, entering into unknown territory of aging. #alchemy of aging. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Tyler, who asked me if I would talk about aging. And as we discussed it a little bit further, we decided that we would call it the alchemy of aging. And I hope that this is what you wanted to hear about. We can make it what we want. We can be more interesting and, I dare say, inspiring to others, maybe even inspiring to ourselves. Go figure. I have always been partial to inspiring quotes and reading or hearing certain words that have helped me many times, if not only to get my mindset aligned to my goals, but just make me feel better about my day or whatever it is that's happening at the time. From time to time, we find ourselves caught in a mundaneness of our incredible existence. And there's the warning shot over the bow. That kind of thinking is rubbish. Bollocks, even! You shout that out, Bob. Bollocks! Okay, good to go. In order to feel the gold of the alchemy of aging, certain things have to be looked at.
I do believe.
That's right, Bob. When doing life at full speed in our elder years, daily activities create stress in our bodies, especially if we are still working and we're not liking what we do. That will be dulling our higher senses to divert energy from subtle perception to the sympathetic nervous system of fight or flight. And as we know, living in that state is hardcore. This is why integrative practices that calm the nervous system, focus the mind, balance the emotions like yoga, massage, meditation and dance are great for increasing our subtle senses and with that our awareness of fantastical nature that be our life and in turn our lives in particular. It is up to us to see and recognise this magic, to pay attention to the seemingly ordinary and grab your life by the horns. There are many ways to make our life alchemical and only we can bring those gifts to ourselves. Not our gifts, but gifts. That's right.
You can't speak right.
Well, that's right, Bob. It does happen on occasion. I don't know about you, but I do get new ideas while in the shower.
I do too.
Well, I think you would, Bob, yes. Ideas are like the wind, aren't they? They have to be jotted down lest they are sucked up into the vortex of never to be remembered again. I was thinking about ageing in my life and how very, very fortunate and blessed I have been. I told you about the Curvy girls who were a regular staple in my life there for quite a number of years. And during that time, I became aware that with the lack of female leadership I had, that it was really amazing to have 7 in one swoop, 7 matriarchs. The guidance and the wisdom that they embody. It was one day as we were getting ready for one of our coffees in the early days, it occurred to me how I had 7 amazing older women as friends. Some were 40 years older than me, and even the ones that were 25 years older, they still had so much life experience and wisdom that I had no experience, of course, to speak of, and still yet to, require it, I should say. Nay, they had memories of a world I never knew. And let me tell you, Marble Dwellers, it was so romantic and their stories were so panoramic and eras that have gone. Don't get me started on their fashions and world travel. And they all had a ladylikeness about them that was and is simply gorgeous and kind of fragile to behold. When I was a young girl, maybe 6 or 7, I had to go to quite an elderly lady's place to do some dishes as part of a brownie badge I was hoping to get. Brownies, this is back in New Zealand, was for young girls, the stage before becoming a girl guide. And when a young girl first joins the brownies, she is encouraged to take the brownie promise. And this promise is the basis of the brownies and girl guides philosophy. The young girls are also introduced to the brownie law. Our brownie guide thinks of others before herself and does a good turn every day. While I was in the Pixies, there were different groups. There were fairies, gnomes, imps, sprites, and others. Anywho, I digress.
How unlike you.
Quite right, Bob. So I had to do the dishes, and lo and behold, this woman had brought out her fine china for me to wash and dry. And very soon into the washing, I accidentally dropped and I broke a cup, and I was struck with fear with what I had just done, and I just couldn't stop apologising, and I was so tiny that I had to do the dishes standing on a dining chair. Anyway, she lifted me down and comforted me and told me it was fine and that she had actually always disliked that set and now she could put it away. Well, there would have been a story behind that. She was just so kind and genuine. I got my badge and nothing more was said about it. The memory was her kindness, but also her leadership and sureness. I never forgot her because of those traits. My grandmother, although she lived in Scotland and I lived in New Zealand, she always had time for me. They came to New Zealand for a 3-month holiday after we had spent 3 months with them in Scotland, and sealing the relationships forever. She would announce my name whenever I walked into the room. I thought she was strong, funny, and sort of like a boss, and lucky the boss liked me. I'd walk into the room and she'd go, "Oh, wonder!" Well, I just knew that she loved me. Her youngest daughter, she had had my auntie when she was 48. My auntie, when we met, that was it. I was the best thing since sliced bread, and she was the sun and the moon to me. She was 2 years older than me, and at a young age, I had an enduring, strong memory of someone who believed in me and stood up for me. They have both passed, and sometimes on certain days I think of them and I imagine they are together. It makes me feel connected. For me, I was lucky. Their wisdom lived and lives in me. I have had older women friends who have guided me and allowed me to be completely open, and I learnt so much from them. Over the years, the assistance and the advice I have received has helped me immeasurably. Those times when your back is right against the wall and you have no idea what to do, and they look down at their hands, they take a breath and calmly say the solution. Just light up my mind, would you? Oh my goodness. #Alchemy of Aging. I'm so delighted that I could put a bold light on the subject, and I hope that you enjoyed it. And thank you again, Tyler. And that wraps up this episode of The Alchemy of Aging. We've explored the magical journey of growing older and how the richness of our older gals is truly treasured and sought after. And so my intention with the subject is to become more than just a platform to celebrate the beauty of aging. It is a catalyst for this whimsical gathering where people from all walks of life get to discover the true magic that lies within our older gals. It's time for us to part ways, but remember, as we age, we become like fine wine, more precious with every passing year. So let's raise a glass to the alchemy of aging, the richness of our elder gals, and the enchanting mysteries that await us all. Until next time, my fellow alchemists of life, keep cherishing those silver strands, dancing to the rhythm of wisdom and embracing the marvellous journey of growing older. This is Jar of Marble signing off with a twinkle in our eyes and a skip in our step. So say good day to the family for me, give your elephant a snog, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye.